It was pretty electric at the start of that game, was it not?
Oh, it was definitely electric, no question about it. The crowd was hyped. It wasn't an empty seat in the house. And then you found out that Meek Mill had been released from jail. A helicopter was bringing him on, bringing him to the arena. He was gonna sit there and bang the bell, and the crowd was roaring before tip-off time arrived. And obviously, the first shot of the game was hit by J.J. Redick off of a screen, and he pulled up, and bam, there you had it. And it was one of those situations where you just looked at the Miami Heat. They came into the game. You just looked at a team that just appeared to be lifeless. They appeared to know what their destiny was because they had given away 2 home games in games 3 and 4 back in South Beach. You had Hassan Whiteside in a starting lineup, which put forth one of the most horrific performances that I've ever seen from a big man. He looked lazy, he looked lethargic, he looked unproductive, and it showed. And when you combine that with Joel Embiid doing what he did with 19 and 12, Ben Simmons not having to do much with 14, 10, and 6, J.J. Redick leading the way yet again, hitting shots from all over the place. Miami just simply didn't have a chance, and I'd be remiss in neglecting the fact that D. Wade, the experienced veteran, the 3-time champion, the future Hall of Famer, really didn't have it tonight. Hit just 4 of 15 shots and scored the 11 points, and you had 2 starters that went basically scoreless. So it was just a situation where it was just too much for Miami to overcome, mostly because of their own doing, but obviously the Philadelphia 76ers deserve a lot of credit because they hit shots and they can defend and they have big bodies that go out there that can do both. And that's what makes them very, very unique this year.
What impresses you most about the Sixers in this series? 2-part question. Are they your new team in the East?
Well, they are the team. I announced that a couple of days ago on First Take. I think they're coming out of the Eastern Conference, and I think to some degree it's by default. Certainly Ben Simmons is a superstar in the making. He's a jump shot away from being LeBron James Part 2 officially. Joel Embiid is arguably the best big man in the game. He can play with his back to the basket. He can step out on 3-point range. But what's most impressive about this team, the guy in J.J. Redick, who's their best shooter, under a 1-year contract paying him $23 million. If you take him off the floor, you can literally put 5 guys on the court if you're the Philadelphia 76ers that are all 6'6" and above that can hit perimeter shots, at least 4 of them. Not Ben Simmons, but everybody else. So when you look at it from that perspective, they've got size, they've got athleticism, they've got marksmanship, they defend, and they love doing so. That ingredient is not something that you find anywhere else in the Eastern Conference. Boston has a shot. Toronto can score, but really not from the perimeter with those other guys outside of DeRozan. So when you look at it from that perspective, I look at Toronto being a 2-point shooting team more so than a 3-point shooting team. I look at Boston with not enough depth because of the absence of Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward. I look at LeBron James being a lone ranger, having no help whatsoever. I think that will not bode well against them in the Eastern Conference. And it's because of those 3 realities that I've got the Philadelphia 76ers going to the NBA Finals this year.
Stephen A. Smith.